Wrong! I summon you! Din!
A puff of pink mist suddenly emerged from the green teapot. The mist swelled and transformed into a two-toned mythical dragon. Dan was completely stunned by the sight. He had never imagined that dragons could be real. The dragon explained, "I am a wish dragon. Only the owner of the teapot can see me. Since you now possess the teapot, you may make 3 wishes. Whether you want impenetrable armor or the ability to fly, I can grant them immediately." Dan was overjoyed to hear that he could make wishes, but unfortunately, he had no idea what to wish for. He hadn't prepared for this moment at all, and he couldn't make up his mind on what to ask for. This made the dragon anxious. It had been trapped in the teapot for over 1,000 years and was eager to fulfill the owner's wishes. Dan was the 10th person the dragon had met who could potentially set it free. Once Dan made his wishes, the dragon would be able to return to the heavens and take human form. Just then, a bold man with 2 lackeys barged in. They were hired to steal the teapot. Naturally, Dan refused to hand over the teapot. He turned and fled, but unfortunately, ran into a dead end. In frustration, he muttered, "I wish I knew martial arts." As soon as Dan spoke those words, the dragon granted his wish. Without any training, Dan instantly became a martial arts master. Every move felt like muscle memory, as he expertly fought off the attackers and escaped. The next day, Dan summoned the dragon again, and this time the dragon began suggesting more practical wishes, like turning a mountain of gold, or summoning an army, or perhaps just chatting with someone far away. Dan scoffed, "I don't need a mountain of gold or an army. And if I want to chat with someone, I can just use my phone." The dragon was baffled by this phone thing and was curious how humans managed to get into television screens. He also found it odd that the little metal boxes on the road could move on their own. But the biggest surprise, shrimp chips. Once he tasted them, he couldn't stop. They were the ultimate delicacy. At that moment, a bus pulled up, and the dragon eagerly hopped inside the moving metal box. However, when he saw it was full of ordinary people, he couldn't bear it. A noble dragon couldn't ride with commoners, so he quickly jumped out. Later, the two hopped into a taxi. The dragon, who had never ridden in a car before, was so excited that half of him was inside the car while the other half was hanging out the window, tongue flapping in the wind, like a monster from a movie. Then the dragon experienced the ultimate city challenge, traffic. The congestion was unbearable for him. Unable to deal with the situation, he lifted Dan up into the sky, but in the process, they were hit by an airplane. The collision left the dragon dazed and dizzy,